Sophie.
Sophie.
Sophie. Have a seat, please. Have a seat. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Glad you made it safe.
Yes.
The roads are sketchy.
Exactly.
You guys had an
Hi.
I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
Thank you.
Hello, Romana. My name is Jonathan. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you, Jonathan, for addressing me. Thank you. So, did you guys travel?
We need some.
We live, actually, where we were driving, you were coming down on Red.
Oh, really?
We're
Nice.
from out that way, out Route 4 away.
15 minutes away.
15 minutes to me.
Me, I only have 5 minutes. I live over here.
Oh, do you?
You might go to that one. Thank you.
Actually, you want to come over here and then I can get you all in a line.
Thank you
Thank
so much. We are going to be here. We're still researching in terms of how we come in because we're going to Newfoundland, and so far they've dropped all of their restrictions. So
Yeah, we noticed
won't-
that today.
Yeah, so we won't have to go through all of
No
that.
hassles.
Exactly, no hassles. But coming back into Nova Scotia, we have to find out whether your government, or corporation government rather, that has no power whatsoever, is still doing the shenanigans as far as forcing people to go through the tests or not.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find it out. And if they're doing that, that means we can't go there because we can't come back. Right?
Okay.
So, yes. Well, you can take off your... Yes, slow chill. Yes. No worries, no worries.
People. Yeah, she's going to be 12.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So how do you... how did you guys find out about Queen Romana? Have you guys been following me?
Oh, since you come on in May, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we found you there, and my husband followed your whole trip all the way down.
Awesome. Where is he?
Oh, that's what we said.
He's home with
Come.
their
He
other
says no.
babies.
The other 2 dogs, he's still home with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So do you guys have any questions that you wanted
We're just
Queen
all
Romana to
totally-
answer face to face?
We're dumbfounded. We're just so happy that this
Yeah,
change is coming.
I'm speechless. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
I
didn't
have
expect
questions.
the
I'll get them
change?
in a minute.
Okay.
Well, we always knew that something was wrong with this government, and for years. Because we always strived to make ends meet, and there was more taxes and more bullshit. Sorry, but that's the way it was. Bureaucracy everywhere we went. Like, we're crafters, and we go down to the Port of Sydney cruise terminal down there, and there's always bureaucracy down there too, and what you can do, and you don't have any say really, and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Looking forward to good changes though.
Yeah, we're looking forward to some really good changes for everything, for sure.
Well, the good part is we're removing that bureaucracy bullshit that you
Good.
were referring to.
Yeah.
And I've removed all your politicians, whether they like it or not. They're gone.
good.
All levels of politicians. We're not going to be having any election anytime soon.
No.
So these guys are busy playing, trying to keep the illusion alive.
Yes.
But it's the end of them.
That's what's hard, because I lost family over it, and
Yes.
they don't believe anything we have to say, that, and like my son, I haven't spoken to him in over, what is it, a year and a half. My sister probably the last 8 months.
Yes.
It's just
All of you guys
difficult.
lost family members.
Yeah, we all lost
who-
family
Hopefully they'll
members,
go
but I realized they're not really your family, because I went through a time of, why wouldn't they believe us,
Right,
but
yes,
then you're
yes.
just
It's
not
like
capable
stages
of
you
it,
go
I guess.
through, right?
Yeah.
But also recognizing their personal will and personal contracts, spiritual contracts.
Exactly.
They have the option to, stay away from the duality or to continue living in that
Definitely.
duality. And we are moving this way, away from all duality and all the bullshit quoting you. Yes.
It is all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is, when you're coming off the ramp and coming down, we were in front of you, like you guys were coming, we were here.
Right.
And then my brother-in-law, who we haven't spoken to in 8 years, he would have to have seen your
The
caravan,
sign, yes.
and the sign, and I said to Karen, good.
Good.
Maybe his eyes will open up now,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when we pulled over, literally seconds later, a police car
Yes,
came
yes.
over. Whether that was our escort, I mean, I do have our Marines and U.S. Marines also escorting me, but they
Yes.
are in plain clothes
Yes,
and
yes.
plain cars or unmarked cars.
Yes.
So you wouldn't know whether they're part of my convoy or they're my protection team.
Yes.
And plus, of course,
Of
you know,
course. And my husband was
brothers and sisters
intrigued.
up
He
there.
watched one of the videos and he saw in the sky.
yes, when I said, "Here's the view,"
And he hollered to us, come see, come see. He was all excited. Eh?
I actually missed that. I'm gonna go find us.
yeah. So.
What's your husband's name?
Daniel.
Okay. Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, he'll be watching that. He'll be all happy.
So that's good. I'm glad that you guys have made it here. It was a challenge for
We're
us.
glad you're here.
Hey?
We're glad that you're here.
Thank you, thank you. Earlier, our signs, I was saying that it came off, and I went out, and I'm like, oh, I feel naked when my my signs off the front hood, and so I went back there. I'm like, oh, that too. Well, the sign is still there, but it was covered with snow. So Corey, one of my team members, finally is like, gotta wash your face, Queen Romana. You know, I'm like, so yeah, he did that, and we've been trying to get our signs, but none here are willing to cooperate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
They were all good until they saw the picture, and then they came back and said, "Oh, we can't help you."
Really?
Oh yes, yes.
We don't know how
At
deep
Daisy.
it goes. You know,
Yes.
it goes really deep.
Yes.
But I
So,
mean, you're bringing it all out to us to see exactly
yes,
what
definitely.
it is. Yeah.
We had a submarine here about 6 months ago.
We had what?
A submarine,
Yes, yes.
and a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's just here for a tour and stuff like that." So I popped up the question. I said, "Did it have any insignia on it?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "No." I said,
Right.
"That's not here for a tour, my friend. They're
Gotcha.
touring, but not in the fashion that you're thinking."
Exactly. Yes.
Another question I had: the Ottawa police chief there about 5-6 days ago, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Was he out of hydraulic fluids, gigabytes, or adrenochrome?
Whatever he was on, he's no longer.
He was
Fletching.
malfunctioning pretty good.
Yeah. I saw that video.
Yeah, that was quite funny to see actually.
Yes.
Any questions? Come on.
So when the med beds come,
Yes.
are they going to be available for animals too?
Humans first,
Right.
and then animals.
And then the animals?
Yes, yes. Because I think there's different configurations with human bodies. And yes, but it is a gift from the celestial brothers and sisters, so it should fix everyone on planet Earth, including our lovely family members, four-legged family
We bought one of
members.
them today. It should be coming in.
Oh, did you?
A little canister, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the new puppy.
No, no. We got some old ones there that need fixing.
Yeah.
Also, I was told to mention a
Who
gentleman.
told to mention? I'm interested. Who told you to mention stuff?
A gentleman in Truro told me. He said, "You tell her I thought she was the most beautiful person I ever met."
Oh, thank you.
His name was Leo Mason.
Yes. Thank you.
And the couple of ladies that you spoke to last night in Antigonish, they also said the same thing.
Thank you.
And one of them was my brother's girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Wow, small
Genevieve or Roxy?
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
world. Thank you. Thank you.
They spoke very highly of you.
Thank you so much. Let them know
I will, absolutely.
the message has been received, and thank you very much.
Is there a lot of followers in Cape Breton on your site, do you know, or?
No, I couldn't tell you because it doesn't really.
Okay, it doesn't show.
Telegram doesn't show where they are from, other than by province and territory.
Because I emailed everybody I knew that you were coming today.
Okay, myself, I could probably say I know maybe 5 or 6 that follow you avidly. I'm one of them.
I can tell. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I seriously, I've watched from pretty much the time you got on Telegram. I was intrigued. I said,
Yes.
all I can say is thank you.
You're welcome. The heavy lifting has been done when we have removed the Chinese Communist military from Canada. I think Canadians really didn't realize
Not at all.
how deep we were in trouble.
I
As,
didn't
yes, as far, and even Americans didn't realize just how much in trouble not only Canada but the U.S. but the whole world in general as far as peace. And as usual, our brothers and sisters in the United States were sending their troops around the world trying to help the world. And then I said, the real enemy is within, and it's in Canada, and it's in your doorstep. So we have to bring back our forces and special forces and clean Canada. And that's when we remove tens of thousands of Chinese military that was invited by both the Conservatives and the Liberals and everybody else in that parliament, that fake parliament. And of course with the blessing of their fake queen. So, and they have sold Canada and Canadians to the highest bidder, and that was China.
Yeah.
So finally I cried for months and months and months until we finally were able to bring our troops to Canada and the special forces and cleaned up Canada.
Thank you.
And that's why, you're welcome, in one of my speeches, February 3rd, in Ottawa,
I see that.
I quoted Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Armed Forces to remind Canadians that we were sold. Let's just say, I'm gonna say this plainly, Canada was being run from Beijing. There is no ifs or buts. It was being run from Beijing until I stepped in and said, we're not, my people cannot go through this, and I will not allow my people to go through this and the country. So,
Who first woke us up to some of the problems was that Norman Travesty.
yes,
We found him on the internet and listened to what he had to say in that, and then she started digging and digging, and we uncovered all kinds of information that, I think that's the lack of what people do is research. They don't research to find out what's going on, we all live in our own little swirl, I guess.
but the Chinese were here years and years before the pandemic was even
Oh, yeah.
started. Years and years and years. Because they were literally staging. They were using Canada as a staging ground to take down the United States. And had I not stepped in, I think Americans and Canadians would be in some forced camp right now,
Oh,
like
definitely.
they're doing in China, where they have one positive COVID supposedly, and they have shut down 17 million in one of their cities.
Mhm.
That's what would have happened here, and they're rationing people's food, and some people can't even buy food according to whatever their social credit is all
That's
about.
one of the biggest fears a friend of mine in Halifax has. She's scared to death that they're going to take their kids, physically come take her kids from her home and put them in a camp somewhere.
Yes.
And
We
I
were there.
I had told her we were close to that.
And as I said, when I was having a conversation with our Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief of the U.S., he said, and I said, Canada was being run from Beijing, and then I turned it around and I said, soon I will have authentic dinner, Chinese dinner in Beijing, because now we're the ones cleaning up China and have removed the Chinese Communist Party, so they're no longer in power. We've removed them in China, and we continue to remove them in China with the alliance forces and global forces. And they will be run like Taiwan. Taiwan will go back to China, but it'll be a democratic way run by, and of course there's no more Chinese Communist Party, so it'll be run like Taiwan, which is the Western.
Any last burning questions?
So we felt like we were hunted. I did. I felt like we were hunted.
Right.
Is that for, the awakened or unvaxxed? Is that threat going to
That
release
threat
from us?
is, yes, that threat is going to dissipate because now people are waking up. And they're realizing that your commander-in-chief is actually running the world if they were not paying attention. I'm the one that invited Russia, and I've also instructed NATO alliance to move out of Ukraine, as well as the United States military. And also I've endorsed Russia's special forces special operation in Ukraine and I specifically said we are removing the deep state government of Ukraine.
Right.
So if people were paying attention, it's not the U.S. that's running the world. It's not anyone. It's the commander-in-chief. Unknown and perhaps undercover, but the instruction comes from here.
And that's the number one thing I'm faced with is so many people don't believe,
That's right, yes.
and that's expected. Not
Right.
everybody's there yet. But man, oh man, there are some vicious liberals out there. Oh,
But you know what they've realized is that when I stood in right outside the Parliament in Ottawa, and I said, my reign will be reinforced by the United States Armed Forces and global forces
yeah.
in all ways and by any means necessary. And I think that's when they realized she's the real deal and real as a heart attack, and there's no way when you've got the United States and the global alliance backing her, there's no way. Because had I not been real, they would have arrested me.
Yeah, they would have.
They would have,
Yes.
right? And then when they took me to Dr. Miller, remember?
Yep.
And then they realized, oh, we actually can't touch her because she's real. And so they let me go. So that was that. And so I said thank you to the RCMP, and of course thank them for my yearly checkup. You know, the commander-in-chief has to have the psychological checkup, right, on a yearly basis.
They probably would have gave you going over while you were there.
Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, and the phone calls during that time when I was waiting for Dr. Miller to come into that room, the phone calls was like the RCMPs, because that was the RCMP that came to my office was the equivalent of CIA and FBI, the NSET, the U.S. I mean the RCMP department. That was not just a regular one. That's why I said, I've been waiting, I've been expecting your arrival.
Right.
So they were, so they were shocked, and of course they found out who really is the real queen of Canada at this time.
So are people here going to wake up?
They will. There are some people that are psychologically, shall I say, unprepared and yes, damaged. So some of them may not wake up, and that's for their protection also, psychologically, because I mean, after not many people will be able to survive the onslaught of realizing that they have been lied to, not just for years but for centuries, and the image of we have this wonderful royal queen that they had was all shenanigans and an illusion, and used our children and abused our children. Basically, they sold our children to the dark forces in exchange for their power, to keep their power and control, and also their wealth.
I'm actually surprised that we all survived
Yes.
throughout the years. Like,
Throughout the years,
right?
yes. Yeah.
With the dark that creeped around the corner, and after kids and everything, right? Like, poisoning the food and
The food, the water, the air,
air
yes.
products, all those
Everything.
products that we put on our body every day.
even our clothes. They
Yeah.
had placed stuff in our clothes, everything. So, but all this time,
We're tough though.
We're tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Humans are tough, and also at the same time, we were protected
Yes.
Yeah.
by the celestial brothers and sisters. So yes, definitely.